Both already sitting down, just ready to get on with the action.
Yeah, no, this is actually none other than one of the winners of the doubles bracket, 0 to none, rocking the FreeKayFlock tag. I will say this is one of the best Zeldas in the world, and as one of the few people who lives in a place that has had somebody who had the claim of best Zelda, being Utah with Abby at the time going by Saturn Zelda or Atlas, with wins on like T and
Mm,
shoe tone and everything. Let me tell you, this character has some surprisingly nasty shit if you aren't ready for it. Whether it
absolutely.
whether it be the phantom setups, those grabs into the lightning kicks, you better be prepared. But I will say, Bayo, one of those characters with some really good tools to operate around Zelda.
A lot of people forget that Zelda wasn't as strong. It's just that one of those felt like one of those changes that they made throughout the course of the game that where they actually gave a lot more power and a lot more knockback to the majority of Zelda's moves, particularly her smash
Mhm.
attacks. And it's one of those changes that you don't really see them on paper because a lot of people pretty much just focus on what changes they make to the top tiers. But Zelda got some love over the course of the game, and we're seeing it right now with somebody like FreeKayFlock that's going to be able to show up what Zelda can do.
Yeah, and I will say, the same way this seating, 7 to 10, that matchup, that set record, also the same way. That being said, we ain't telling the story here. It might be a 6-4 favor in FreeKayFlock's, but Amaryllis saying, hey, I don't care about what the set record is. Today is my day.
Man, doing a tremendous job as well. Bat Within is going to be super important for this web matchup as well. Ying, a lot of the setups that you are going to have if you are getting combinations from Zelda actually come off of that down throw. So be able to actually try to mix up your opponents. If you have that Bat Within, you're going to be able to escape a lot of the combinations that Zelda's going to go for.
Look at that pressure, though. The ABKs, the Witch Twist, all of the time. If you are in the air, all of a sudden, Bayo is looking to go ahead and find you and dish out that damage. 86, fully lapped in percent. This is becoming a problem. Aggressive up smash, but hey, Free saying, I'm not going to go ahead and be free for you today. Amaryllis, you got to work a little bit harder than that right now.
Trying to set up with the bodyguard, just barely hitting the mark. At least the witch time actually makes them grab the ledge, not being able to do anything else about it. Bodyguard one more time as we're seeing the fires coming out from the side of Zelda. The multi-hits on the forward smash get interrupted that time. But again, all of the whatever Amaryllis is doing right now is actually good extra credit, and the back is sealing the deal. That's already 2 stocks within 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that was such a good lineup on the back air. Amaryllis really showcasing that, hey, I understand how to go ahead, not only find the kills off of someone as light as Zelda, but also go ahead and get that edge guarding route done and finished off. Now at this point, I love that, the dive kick to go ahead and set up into a little bit of combo, but Amaryllis saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and back off for the moment.
I really like that. And I'm really glad you brought that up, Ian, because then after you brought it up, he did it a second time that and actually angled himself downward to try to continue with the combination. So actually using the afterburner kick angled downward is going to be super fun and a good interaction with something that I haven't seen many Bayos actually do when they're actually trying to, extend the combos, which in this case is actually super important as well because a lot of Zelda's offensive game is actually in the horizontal stage. So being able to actually mitigate any type of offense through that vertical mobility is going to be great for Bayo and actually try to intercept it. That being said, a couple of fires in that up air can pay a lot of damage.
I got a little bit worried right there for K-Flock for a moment because Amaryllis saying, hey, I'm really going to go ahead and come in and brutalize you for the moment. They are doing a really good job here. Now, at this point, just waiting at ledge, gets the grab, going to go for the forward throw. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought maybe go ahead for another throw, not and just to risk not scaling it overall for the kill. Given killing at 140 at ledge, not the best kill throw overall. Now, though, gets that little bit of a... Oh! Not just the heel slap, but the call out on the air dodge saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Beautiful job.
Absolutely. They have been tremendous when it comes to actually reading the defensive options. And sometimes that could be the difference between a 7 and a 10 seed, or at least that's why we know that at least these players are some of the favorites to actually take this tournament in particular overall, as we're seeing that instant replay actually coming in. And we're seeing it, defensive options going to be both the jump and the dodge to land on the stage. And then Bayo, as great as they do, sweet spot back here to take that game.
Yeah, really well done. Now at this point, I'm excited to see. We started to see a little bit of counterplay against the dive kick. That being a really good tool to go ahead and avoid the pressure of Phantom and put a little bit of extenuating aggression there if they're playing grounded. But FreeKayFlock have been popping out that shield, getting the follow-ups. Now that up tilt, that barricader coming on in and getting that Zelda spin thereafter. Now at this point though, it is Amaryllis' turn.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job maintaining Zelda in the corner and actually going for down throw that time. And again, just waiting on whatever option Zelda's going to have available to mitigate whatever type of recovery they're going to be able to do. And now actually try to chase them away with those backers. Dash attack actually flipping it on its head for the Bayo and actually interrupts it with the side special. Super important for Bayo. And now we're seeing Amaryllis just continuing the pressure on the corner.
I love this aggression off stage, but it did end up giving up the stage control, allowing for Free to go ahead, come on in, and try to find that ledge trap there. Now, though, wrong side on that down tilt, and that's going to allow for Amaryllis to live a little bit longer here as we go ahead and get the call out there with the Witch Twist.
Now, offensive options by Zelda. Moving in, back throw, sitting him onto the outside, and continuing just slowly but surely. A lot of patience for Amaryllis. They really enjoy just waiting on whatever opponent wants to do, but a double afterburner kick and directional air dodge onto the ledge. That's the first stock for Bayo.
Look, sometimes you just got to go ahead and get that call-out combo real fast, and we might be seeing another one here. Are we taking him off the top? No, we're going to go ahead and live another day. FreeKayFlock, I'm sure. Not going to go ahead and look that gift horse in the mouth, keeping it moving, try to keep the damage running, and we get the stock. Only 57%. It could have been way worse, especially considering that initial combo up to the ceiling.
I completely agree with you, Ying. It could have been a lot worse for Amaryllis, but they are just going to continue to apply that same pressure. And FreeKayFlock doing their best to actually use their get off me options this time. So a lot more multi-hits coming in on that second game and using neutral special as well to make sure that Bayo maintains as much a distance as they possibly can.
Yep, look at that, the spin coming on in. Now, we set up with the Phantom, but Amaryllis not even scared or worried. There's a reason why we enjoyed this PS2 pick. Even if it was FreeKayFlock's pick, overall, it just gives a bigger stage and allows for a little bit of disengagement when that Phantom is out.
That's the 1-2. He just walks back menacingly. The famous Bayo strut. Now actually mixing it up a lot more using those afterburner kicks. But now Sweet Spot giving the advantage to FreeKayFlock in the second game.
Okay, the Zelda, look at that, the air dodge too to get the punish there. Doesn't go ahead and get the combustion there to go ahead and get the explosion damage. And now Amaryllis looking for the kill here, but hasn't been able to secure the combos that they need right now.
This could be a little bit of a problem for Bayo as we continue to reach those high percents. That being said, back air Sweet Spot sealing the deal that time in a pretty even game so far, Yin.
Yeah, keeping it nice and even here. Got them off stage. Winner of this does go ahead and gets ahead into winner side top 24, which can be a big difference in such a stacked bracket. And Amaryllis showing that, hey, they really want this right now. Drops out of the combos, but right back on top of FreeKayFlock.
Not many options available. Already use a second jump and a bit of a risky up special angle downward that time to continue to play. The multi-hits on the guns on the feet of Bayo actually hit just for a little bit of percent, but now it's just a matter of waiting. We have 3 minutes on the clock. Still plenty of Smash to be played. Super important for KCON to actually get it. Intercepting the afterburner kick with the multi-hits of the Nair. Super important, but the differential is only 6% now.
Yeah, keeping it so close right now. I think a big thing is Amaryllis really hasn't been able to find a lot of those big extensions that they've been hoping for. And FreeKayFlock has been able to find quite a bit of damage with the up airs, with the Phantoms. Now looking for a little bit of something, and that lightning kick out of shield. Such a quick option, and it just works.
Wow. And it's even more impressive because I believe that what clanked on the shield was actually one of the jabs from Bayo. So that was an immediate interaction. It was either option select or FreeKayFlock has the the reflexes of a god, because that was tremendous play right there, and the Sweet Spot just hitting right on the mark. Actually hitting on, I believe that was a forward tilt. planks on the shield with the forward tilt, and actually goes sweet spot on that forward air back.
Yeah, you got to be careful pressuring that shield. I know a lot of people don't really talk about Zelda's out of shield options, but some of it could be very, very quick. I think the big one, of course, being the up B being frame 6 out of shield, but at the same time, that bear and that fair, I mean, are both frame 9 out of shield, so you got to be very careful there.
A lot of the more juggle similarities actually from game number 1, taking him up to 51, landing just on the middle of the stage and looking for ways to actually land. For Zelda, it can be a little difficult, and we're seeing it now as they, and by they I mean the Bayo, continues to put on that offensive pressure.
Yeah, Amaryllis, ooh, getting aggressive with that forward air into the S-Bat. I know that players like Deathspade really talk about how strong of an option that can be for kills, but you know what? Instead, we're going to go ahead and get a kill for FreeKayFlock. You get the trade, they get the tech, and they are the ones to go ahead and win out there.
Dash attack just to get off the option as well, 116. You could have a little bit of difficulty if you're Bayo to actually get those KOs if you don't hit one of those back airs. And fortunately, they did hit that time. Unfortunately, it just sends them to the other side of the stage, so not quite going to be enough. And now it's up to Zelda to maintain that defense, but the forward throw should be able to at least send them to the side and continue that offensive pressure.
Yeah, 190%. As you said, it can be really difficult if you don't get the conversions into the back air. At this point, jab, dash attack, and forward throw should be able to go ahead and find some of these kills. Just got to go ahead and find the right spot there to get it.
They're moving in, multi-hits on the Nair, getting space from the Bayo. Parry on the back here as well, already at 217. And again, a lot of what Bayo likes to do is no longer possible. It's just going to be straight hits, so even if you get the backer, you're going to be able to KO him. That's exactly what we're doing right now, and 47% of extra credit is actually a good position for Amaryllis. They'll get hits very solidly with that bodyguard up to 70 now.
I know, I will say this was a little bit of an accidental match that we got here. So this is a top 32 match, was supposed to be done a little bit later on. So this is going to be a best of 5. Then we'll return to the Wave B pools after this one. So I just wanted to let you know, chat, this is a best of 5.
Oh, that's great, because even more smash action, especially by these two, who are pretty much seated in the top 10. Now FreeKayFlock and Amaryllis both trying to, continue to poke at a defense of each other. And again, assist from the bodyguard gets the grab back throw for 116. FreeKayFlock is establishing their offense a little better than what Amaryllis is doing right now.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good. You want to go ahead and keep things rolling here. If you drop down to the losers, you've got killers like BD Bean and level 7 waiting for you, as well as Squid Plumber. And Amaryllis saying, hey, I'm not going to be the one to drop down there. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and send you off into that top blast zone right now. 122%, we got that nice, good parry coverage, and now that fair. Going to go ahead and link that. Doesn't get the extra conversion with the platform reset, but still nice, good pressure right now.
Yeah, FreeKayFlock did not like that approach. We saw him actually just trying to nod his head, saying no on the cam on the left side, and trying to make sure that they do not get enough extra credit. But again, Zelda can be so difficult to actually escape anything that they want to do, and they just want to run it back. FreeKayFlock is not happy about it, but Amaryllis, they looking in control to advance on to the next round of winners.
And I will say a big thing that we're seeing there is kind of that mitigation of special lag. For those of who don't know, Bayo is the one character in this game that when they use their special moves in the air, they get extra additional landing and end lag when they hit the ground. And so you saw right there, all right, I whipped the ABK. I'm going to go ahead and air dodge immediately to the ground. That way I go ahead and mitigate some of that landing lag. Then thereafter, once they did get the initial combo, it was just that witch twist into the forward air, land onto the platform. Let me go ahead and reset the landing lag again so I could go ahead and see if I could go ahead and get an extension, which is what they ended up doing after FreeKayFlock hit that air dodge.
Now we're seeing, however, the Zelda actually putting in a lot of the work for 96%, but the combination is actually coming in by Amaryllis. They are putting in the hurt on Zelda, and it's going to be a problem, especially for FreeKayFlock, if they are not able to escape these combinations that Bayo is going to dish out. Not many of the tools that Zelda has are actually going to help them to actually move in the aerial space.
Right now, we're just locking it down, but Amaryllis finally breaks on in. Didn't get that up tilt. That could have been so good to go ahead and start off an extension there. With that being said, we still got damage. We still got advantage, and here we go. Now it's Bayo's time to go ahead and shine. You know what it be. We get you to the ceiling, and we just go ahead and finish off with that 1, 2, 3 ABC.
You got to do it. That's a 3-piece and a soda, but now, actually, the bodyguard is sealing the deal with that time. With 3-piece and a soda or a big-ass sword that's going to just whip you right in the face. Pretty much a tight game. The only differential is less than 10%. So actually trying to move in combinations by Amaryllis, again, just turning up the heat on those combos.
Yeah, now Amaryllis is going to go ahead and say, hey, I'm just disengaging here. I see you got the bodyguard. I see you got the explosives pack. I ain't playing with none of that right now.
Moving aerial now, which twists onto the Nair. Again, that landing lag that you mentioned beforehand, the more specials that they use, the more lag they are going to get. So it's why it's super important for Bayos to actually move away to be able to recover safely.
Now love that dash back into the immediate F smash. Gonna go ahead and get some nice good damage. We got the grab down throw. Now do we go ahead and find a little bit of back air to go ahead and seal out this stock? No, we go ahead, play patient, give up that stage control to just make sure that we don't take too much damage here.
That within saving them from the sweet spot. Now we're seeing Afterburner kick onto the side for 139. Not being able to punish anymore, just hits a couple with the guns. Not quite as the punish as you want, but that being said, we're already at 156. We saw Zelda survive up to 217, but that's not going to matter. Possibly FreeKayFlock's last stock on winner's side.
Now look at that, the down tilt into the forward airs, and that allows for a nice clean little extension there. FreeKayFlock, I love that idea. Let me go ahead and hit the up B. If it works, I go ahead and pop you off the top with the second hit. If it doesn't, I have the recognition to go ahead and switch to the platform there. I love that.
Bodyguard one more time. Actually tries to roll out of the way and does it effectively. But now a lot more defensive from both players, which twist onto the afterburner kick. 3-piece and a soda for the right side. 70% now to 99. A lot of extra credit for the Bayo.
Yeah, and now at this point, we got a lightning kick. Aggressive right there. Only a small bit of activity on that sweet spot, but you know what? It does the trick. Now, F smash for the damage. We got the barricader to go ahead and set up into the Zelda spin as well. 45%. Hold up, FreeKayFlock. Starting to find a little bit of answers here. They were kind of on their last breath for the winner side.
Oh, 1, 2, 3 on the right side. Edge guard situation. Managing to use neutral get up that time as the waiting patience of Amaryllis just sends them outside again with the back air. Looking for another one. Gonna clank on the shield. Up, tail, gonna hit up. Barely missing the up smash, but had the read and the expectation is to actually try to hit the Zelda now. Looking for another one. Back air. It is going to be enough.
Beautifully done right there to go ahead and finish it out. Of course, Bayo might have a little bit of a struggle period when it comes to finding some of these kills, but I think the big story there was just a lot of the combos where Zelda is floatier and should be able to SCI out of a lot of these combos. We just weren't seeing a lot of that, and this allowed for Amaryllis to really extend to the fullest extent and get a lot of these kills off the top. Just a little bit weird for a player at the level of FreeKayFlock to allow some of that to happen, but at the same time, you know, sometimes you got a little bit of pressure, especially against a Bayo of the level of Amaryllis. It is not a safe matchup to be playing. It kind of feels like you got to be on the edge at all times.
Yeah, maintaining a distance from the Bayo, it's super important for the matchup overall, but we do know the difficulties for Zelda in particular. Like, yes, you did mention that they maybe a little bit more SDI for those combinations was super important, but as well as even if they weren't able to actually do it, a lot of aerial mobility that Zelda has is pretty much lackluster. So even if they were actually doing their best to actually get those SDIs in, if they get stray hits by the Bayo and they just keep getting rattled, eventually you're going to have to, you know, find some other way to be able to land, and unfortunately Zelda does not have that many tools to be able to do so.
Yeah, no, either way, congrats to Amaryllis making a little bit farther inside of that top 32. At this point, top 32 starting to stack up to be a little something nasty. I mean, loser side in of itself, you have like Delta Force and Squid Plumber already down there, BD Bean, FreeKayFlock now, of course. On the other end, that winner side, you got Zomba already taking Lakia 3-0, Phantom taking BD Bean 3-0, Joshathan Gamer taking level 7 3-0, and now Amaryllis being able to go ahead and get the upset over FreeKayFlock and take it 3-1 at this point. And one set away from top 8 winner side at this point.
Yeah, they were seated lower than FreeKayFlock as well, so that's a bit of an upset right there. So Amaryllis just doing a tremendous job and making a case to be, in a good position at least to go even further along in the tournament, maybe even cause even more upsets along the way.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. For now, chat, we got to pay a little bit of the bill, so let's go ahead and talk about how you can support this stream. Of course, the biggest thing is, look, we are on the Collision Series TV program. Go ahead, give them that follow if nothing else. But if you got a little bit of a Twitch Prime, or if you want to spare us $6 real fast to support us, go ahead, drop that subscription on Twitch, follow on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube as well.
Yeah, super important that you know that if you do not use that subscription from Prime, you pretty much lose it. So you do not want to give that money to Amazon back. Use it for Collision. And speaking of even more tournament series, we have Fusion, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Doors opening pretty much at 6 p.m. Singles bracket. It's a rotating Buster bracket as well as one of the side brackets and other arcade activities. These are every Monday, and you're seeing it at New Jersey Collision Smash and Collision Series TV, the home of Collision Fusion.
The GOATs, the one and onlys, but hey, you can't forget Ring Out. I mean, these guys are spawning in with a major, all right? I remember looking at some of the attendees. You have so many of the top 10, top 20, and a lot of that just comes down to, look, they are putting on such a great event out there in Akron, Ohio. They got catering, friendly setups, all best of 5, plus $2,000 in pop bonuses. November 22nd to 23rd. You got plenty of time to go ahead and figure out the travel plans. You should do that. Go find out at the Ring Out.
And finally, we do have Collision 2025, August 22nd to the 24th at Meadowlands Expo Center. How do you spell that in New Jersey? I have no idea. How do you pronounce that? How do you pronounce
Secaucus? We'll go with Secaucus.
New Jersey. Yes.
New Jersey, somewhere. Well, hey, thank you so much, chat. And we are going to go ahead and send it to a short little ad break before we come back with some more B-Pools action for you.
Hi everybody and welcome back to King 2025, and this is the Litty Titty block here with Yin and Chopper, just bringing you some Smash Ultimate commentary. I got permission by production to say that, so I am not going to, get banned or anything because I asked permission. That's what you do if you are going to curse on stream. You best believe.
That's not even a curse.
Well, I gotta make sure that I don't get in trouble. Okay, so if production said it was okay, so I'm gonna say it again, Litty Titty. There you go.
Almost ready, y'all.
Hey, Chopper.
I love you guys.
While we're waiting for the first set, do you want to hear a funny joke?
Absolutely.
So, did you know that it's rude to give presents the day before Christmas?
I did not know.
Yeah, it's because it's eavesdropping.
Okay. And
Wah,
do you
wah,
know
wah.
the difference between a piano and a fish?
Piano and a fish? No, I don't.
Yeah. Well, you can tune a piano, but you can't